I am so sick of the phrase money doesn't buy happiness. It's such a pretentious and tone-deaf statement to me. And don't even get me started on the cliche reasons to why the very thing that could change your life around doesn't buy you happiness. Like, the reasons are so tone-deaf and cliche. Like, oh, it doesn't buy you real friends. The second the dough goes, they go, bye-bye. Or you'll never be satisfied. And here's another list of things that money can't buy. Happiness comes from doing things you love. It can't buy time. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, if money can't buy your happiness, then that's a you problem. Money can't buy you friends. Well, being broke doesn't buy you friends neither. Let me tell you something. If you really think money doesn't buy you happiness, picture this, picture the scene. Imagine you're working in McDonald's, Mackey's, Burger King, KFC, wherever you're working, and you got this disgusting beer gut boss with a nasty attitude. He's perving on the female workers and he's disrespectful to the male workers. He is the king of pricks. He's one of these bosses that if you are done cleaning up an aisle or something, he'd spill some Coca-Cola on the floor and go, whoa, you missed a spot. He's one of them types. So after a shit day at work, you come home to your gaff, throw the keys on the table and sit on the couch and reflect on things. And you're just trying to chill for the evening with a beer or something, but you can't help the fact that you've got all kinds of things running through your mind, things that are bothering you, that require money to fix. Here's a list of them. You're in student debt and you haven't got enough to make ends meet or get by. There's things that need fixing that you can't afford. Car problems, choosing between heating and eating. May I go on? And you're working more jobs and you still can't afford to live. You're still surviving with a family to look after. Hell, you might even have a kid with a wife that can't take it anymore. And for this person, this is every single day. Comprende? And this is Monday to Sunday, 7 days a week. How stressful does a situation like that sound? If they could avoid that fate like the plague, they would. But you know how it is, man. Shit happens. It's just too bad that the shit that does happen isn't good most of the time. Because no one wants to struggle. Everyone wants security, but most people don't have a choice in the matter. Life gives you lemons and you gotta roll with it. You just gotta try and change that and hope for the best. Now this is where things get very lucky. Imagine that same situation, but one day you decide to put the lotto on. You got your lottery tickets and numbers at the ready. And you win. And the prize is £5 million. And guess what? You won. All the numbers from the ball machine line up with your lottery ticket. And before you know it, you've got tears of joy that feel indescribable. All your problems feel like they're lifted off your shoulders and you're about to exit the nightmare you're in. Feels as if they're like floating away on a river somewhere. The feelings you have in that moment are so otherworldly, man. Like, ooh, the possibilities are endless. The feelings of joy and emotions circulating through your body and mind are undescribable. Could you imagine walking into work one day to that same boss we were talking about and being all like, you know what? I am sick of your stupid fucking gut and your fat melon head. I quit. Yeah. Can you imagine how good that would feel? Doesn't that sound wonderful? Doesn't that sound satisfying? How the hell does money not buy happiness when you picture it like that? Money doesn't buy happiness. Yeah, tell that to someone who's living on the street. Go on YouTube and look up money being given to the homeless, and I guarantee you, and I bet my life on it, that the money they receive on the street will give them that sense of happiness that they have never felt for a long time. The feeling of getting out of a bad spot is amazing, and that's what money can buy. Relief. Money can't buy time? No, it can't, but it can sure as hell make memories and experiences. Money can't buy friends. Well, don't go around trying to buy friends then. If they're not ride or die, then they don't deserve your slice of the pie. This includes gold diggers as well. If you come into money Your spidey sense for parasites should be working overtime immediately. Those are the people that are going to make your life a misery if you let them get their feet under the table, not the money. The company you keep will always mean the difference between happiness and misery. If you ask me, if you're not happy and you've got money, you sound like one miserable bastard to me. Like, get over yourself, you're Brewston in it, and you have the nerve to complain about it. I mean, is it their sole purpose in life to take the piss or what? There's people going through like all kinds and still find a way to smile. Now, you might have heard a few stories about people with racks of money, but yet they're empty inside and miserable. Well, it's better to be miserable with money than to be miserable with no money. That sounds like to me someone who was born into money. And he spent all his life traveling around the world and living like a rock star, shagging all types of broads and taking all kinds of drugs. And yet they have no purpose. I mean, why would you need a purpose if you've done all that? That's why they feel empty. If not, they probably feel guilty about the life they were blessed with. Because they were handed and given everything on a silver platter. Nothing was earned. And that's why people who are born into money are unbearable. And don't even get me started that they take up socialism. Like, buddy, if you're saying stuff like streaming is more soul-sucking than a real job, man the fuck up, princess. I guarantee you, if you took that person's wealth away for like a year and all he had to live on was baked beans and bullshit in a shithole, and you gave it back to him like 1 year later, oh, watch his tone change in a heartbeat. Oh, I'm not taking this blessing for granted anymore because I had, for the first time in me spoilt life, a slice of life. Fucking woohoo, a bit of reality and life experience outside of my fucking comfy trust-funded bubble. It's like I can't compute with this. Like, how does paying off your problems that have been a burden to you since day one does not make you happy? You see what the problem is? The problem is the people that are not happy with money sound very spoilt to me. You see, money doesn't just make you happy. It makes everyone around you who you love and care for happy. And that's what it's all about, man. Like, I remember watching a program and there was this council estate family living somewhere up north. And someone decided to give these folks £400,000. And that's a lot of money. That's a lot of dough. And they never, ever came into money like that in their life. I don't think they even have that much in their inheritance or in their will. And you know what the family did? They were crying their eyes out, popping champagne bottles and being all like, this has never happened to us before. And these people were really, really poor. So you could understand their delight. The only time I'd say money makes you miserable is that if you have someone in your circle with money who's so selfish that they rather see you struggle, crash and burn and rot than give you a penny. They'd go as far to lie about being broke. And guess what? They're supposed to be family, sucking up all the food, booze and hospitality you could offer, your time, all the favours you've done for them, but yet they never return the favour, everything. They're just users, man. They're just using you. Trust me, you'd be very surprised about what type of people are out there. You see, we're looking at this the wrong way. Money does buy happiness in the right hands, but money in the wrong hands will make your life an utmost misery. It just depends on where you come from and your mindset. Remember, a tool is only as good as its wielder, but a wise mind behind money can make tons of happiness happen. So to wrap up the video, yes, money definitely does buy happiness. It may not solve every problem, but it defo solves 99% of them. But if it's in the wrong hands, buckle up for more problems.